The following is a production of Different Brains. Visit us at differentbrains.org.
The following Different Brains content was funded in part by the Community Foundation of Broward and support from people like you. In this episode of Exploring Different Brains.
Don't think of autism as such a bad thing. Think of it as something. Use it, to your advantage, and don't let it bring you down, because it's unique in its own special way. And I try to get people to not really look at autism as a really bad thing. And I feel like being different is actually, in a way, is actually better than, because sometimes who wants to be normal?
Hi, I'm Dr. Hackey Reitman, and welcome to another episode of Exploring Different Brains. And today I'm excited to have with us Zach Tovin, who is on the board of Casa Familia, which we're going to learn all about. Welcome.
Thank you.
Zach, tell us about your attachment to neurodiversity.
Well, for one thing, I kind of have a disability myself.
What might that be? Do you care to share it?
Yeah, of course. I'm on the Autism Spectrum, and I was diagnosed with that when I was about 5 years old. And so I'd say I know a little bit about that.
Well, self-advocates generally know more than the so-called experts.
Yeah.
Do you consider it a disability or a superpower or a little of both, or how do you look at it?
I'd say a little bit of both, actually.
Oh. What do you consider to be your strong points?
My strong points, I'm very committed to things. Like I'm not one of those people that give up very easily when performing a task. And I'm also very creative, and I'm into the outdoors and stuff, and so I kind of have that mind that just allows me to think a lot more than regular people would, and I just.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And what might you consider weak points? Like if you ask me about my weak points, I definitely talk too much.
Well, for one thing, my weak point is organization, and keeping up with things. And I've had that struggle since I was really little. I try to do things like write things down on my little calendar app I have in my phone. But basically, that's pretty much my biggest struggle is.
Well, we share that because I struggle with that a lot, and so I use my phone coordinating. In fact, Joseph saves me with this stuff, and I was just syncing my calendar on my phone to my computer, because without all the notes I have and everything else, I just forget stuff and I don't get organized, and it's a real challenge.
Yeah, definitely, especially being, having ASD kind of just makes it a little bit worse.
Yeah. Share a bit about Casa Familia and what it is to those of us those of our audience maybe never heard of it.
For
tell
sure.
us about it.
Casa Familia is an independent living home. They have assisted living, and they also have independent living. Assisted living is you get assistance. It's kind of more it's more people kind of help out more, and it's not as independent independent living. It's like you're living by yourself, but you get a lot more help. You get a lot more assistance.
So you have like coaches and things of that, and people
Yeah,
around.
we just started our groundbreaking ceremony in last December. So we should be building it. The building and the construction takes about 12 to 18 months. But once it's done, it should be one of the first of its kind in Florida, I think.
How cool! Very cool. Where's it located?
It's located in Kendall, actually.
And how did you get involved with it?
Well, I heard about Casa Familia, and they actually wanted me to be on the advisory board.
Wow.
And from there, I became a little bit more involved with the program, and they asked me if I wanted to be on the board of directors, and I volunteered to be part of the board of directors. So now I'm part of that.
Wow, that's a big honor, and you're doing a lot of people a lot of good. You're also an alumni of the University of Miami's SALT program. Could you tell our audience about what that is?
Oh, SALT, it stands for Self-Advocacy Leadership Training, and it's basically just it's a program that lasts, it's not very long. It's not like all year. It's only like, I think for like a week, and it's about 6 hours a day, and it just helps you to be more it develops your leadership skills and makes you better in advocating, and it also makes you more aware of how other people, other famous people with disabilities like Albert Einstein, and it just makes you more aware, and it makes you more of a leader.
And down at the University of Miami, that's where Dr. Alessandri is head of the autism program there.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. He thinks the world of you, and he strongly recommended that we get in touch with you and learn about the program. Now, you also participated in ARC Broward's Culinary Arts program. Can you tell us about that?
ARC Broward, the program that I went to is it's about a 6 to 8 month program, and it not only does it help you get a job in culinary in the culinary field, but it helps you develop culinary skills. We did everything from in knife skills, chopping things with knives, getting to learn the equipment in the back of the restaurant, like the stove and how to operate the dishwasher, and it gets you all ready for that, so that once you get a real job in the field, you'll be better, more knowledgeable, and more you'll have an easier time, even though you have a disability, and it just makes it a lot easier, and it's very helpful, and I highly recommend it for people with disabilities who want to become chefs. I now work at Flanagan's, and I used to work at a university down in Nova, NSU, and I used to work for the cafeteria there. So
so it's been good. You really love it, huh?
Yeah, I do.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Or a couple of your favorites?
Well, for one thing, I during the holidays I make blueberry blintzes for my family, and I'm gluten free, so I have to choose a special kind of batter to make the crepes with. But I'd say that is one of my favorite things, especially because I went to a school in Alabama where they teach independent living skills, and everybody made their own recipe, and mine actually got picked as one of the winners for
Nice.
the top.
making me hungry. It sounds delicious.
Mm.
Now, I also learned about you that you're very much into photography as well. Can you tell us something about photography?
Well, I'm more into sky photography, which is I like to take pictures of sunsets and other types of nature. And during COVID, I feel like photography was kind of just an escape from all the chaos that was going around, and I really, I was more into it. Now I have a job, so I don't have as much time, to reserve like a chunk of time for it because I'm like really busy and booked. But like, I enjoy photography. I have other interests too, though.
Such as?
Well, I for one thing love the outdoors, as I may have already mentioned. I love going to the beach a lot. I like I enjoy being out in the sun, exercising, doing yoga, going to the gym, and I also enjoy the weather a lot. I wanted to become a meteorologist at some point, and I just like enjoying hanging out with my friends and
Nice. I find myself with my iPhone taking photos of clouds a lot because to me the clouds are like a Rorschach. You can make them into anything you want because they're.
I really like taking photos of clouds. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that your cooking and photography and other interests make you a better self-advocate?
In a way, yeah. I mean, I used to back when I was really into photography and I had a lot more time with it. I actually went to workshops and I think going to workshops kind of inspired other people to to get into photography as well, because I used to sell my artwork and stuff, and I think it just I think that it definitely does play a role in that.
Cool.
For sure.
And do you find that looking forward to something in the near future, like in the next couple of months, is a positive thing? And what are you looking forward to in the next couple of months?
Well, for one thing, I'm probably going to be taking a advanced culinary training course in ARC Broward in that culinary arts program that I mentioned earlier. I'm probably going to be doing an advanced culinary course, and it's going to really make me better at a better better chef and more knowledgeable in general. Because right now Flanagan's, to be honest, has been a little bit of a struggle for me, and I'm thinking with once I get even more training, I can better be more advanced, and maybe I can go back to because I'm doing a dishwasher right now, but maybe once I learn even more of the skills, I can be start going back to prepping again, and that's definitely something I'm really looking forward to in the next few months, as well as going. I'm going to be going on a Alaska cruise, and
oh, how cool!
Yeah,
Alaskan cruise. If you could pick one thing that you'd like the public to know about autism, what might that be?
Well, I don't look at autism always as a negative thing. I kind of look at autism as somewhat, of a benefit, because I think, if I wasn't born with autism, it would have changed, it would have changed my life, and it would have changed, maybe my parents' life too, because they do work on, they are physical therapists, and my mom specializes in people, helping out people with disabilities. And I don't think, I think if I was born, as just somebody that's just typical, I would have had a whole different life. And I feel like you said, it kind of just makes me, it makes me more passionate about certain things versus if I didn't have autism. And I really try not to look at it as, as a negative thing. I try to look at it as more of like a benefit versus a liability.
Interesting. And that's kind of like when we were thinking of the name of our organization, we called it differentbrains.org because I like what one of my idols, Temple Grandin, said, different, not less. And actually, she named one of her books like that. Because it's different. It's not less, and sometimes it's a gift and a strength.
Well, I find it to be pretty unique in a way.
Absolutely. How can our audience learn more about you?
I do have a website. I haven't updated it in a while, and I'm also they can maybe also go on the Casa Familia website and maybe they can read more about me in there as well.
Zach, what is one piece of advice you would have for someone with autism who wants to become a self-advocate?
My advice to that is go to as many self-advocacy training programs as possible, and also practice too. Practice definitely helps with that, and also the way you think about autism too. Don't think of autism as such a bad thing. Think of it as something. Use it, to your advantage, and don't let it bring you down, because it's unique in its own special way. And I try to get people to not really, look at autism as a really bad thing. And I feel like being different is actually, in a way, is actually better than, because sometimes who wants to be normal?
Zachary Tovin, it's been a pleasure to meet you and to talk to you today, and I look forward to learning more, and keep up the good work you're doing as a board member at Casa Familia and as a neurodivergent self-advocate for those of us whose brains are a little bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Exploring Different Brains is a production of Different Brains. Visit us at differentbrains.org.